Hello children, hope you are doing safe and good at home. Today we will see Unit 3 poem All the World's a Stage. This poem is written by William Shakespeare. It is actually from the collection of a story, a big story, As You Like It. From that, this All the World's a Stage is an extract. It's a poem that has been extracted. Here in the warm-up exercise you can see there is a life cycle of a butterfly given over there. The first stage is egg, then the caterpillar, then the pupa stage, and then the adult stage, the butterfly stage. Here they had asked you to discuss about the different stages of a growth of a man from a newborn to an adult. So being in 12th standard, you are in that stage of being an adult, right? So, right from the day you are born up to the day you have reached your class of 12, there is a stage of life that's been evolving around you all these years. Yes or no? Yeah. So, the stages of life, what all are the stages of life? Okay, and what is that expected from you when you are in each stage? That is what has been beautifully explained by William Shakespeare in this poem. The phrase all the world's a stage is the beginning of a monologue from William Shakespeare's As You Like It, spoken by Jakes in Act 2, Scene 7, line 138. He compares the world to a stage and the life to a play, and the catalogues of the 7 stages of man's life. This is one of the Shakespeare's most frequently quoted passages. Okay, so this As You Like It is a story, is a drama. In that there is a monologue spoken by Jakes. Jakes is a character, and the monologue means dialogue means two people speaking. Monologue means one person alone speaking up. Okay, this monologue is present in Act 2, Scene 7 and in line 138 in the Shakespeare's drama As You Like It. He is comparing the world, the complete world, to the stage. It is a drama stage. And the life to a play. Our life is the drama. Catalog to 7 stages of man's life. So what is this drama catalogs? What is the drama all about? This drama is all about the 7 stages of a man's life. This is one of the Shakespeare's mostly frequently quoted passages. So, mostly whenever there is a discussion on the stages of life of a man, what are all the evolving stages of life of a man, like that, whenever the discussion comes, wherever the discussion comes, mostly people will refer to All the World's a Stage by William Shakespeare. Got it? Know the words depicting different age groups. Age group 10 to 9. Denarian, like that. There are several age groups, and what is the word that is depicting the different age group, representing the different age groups? What are all the words? This is given to understand the wordings of William Shakespeare. Before we go ahead to the poem, we'll go ahead to learn about the author, the poet. In page number 90, there is about the author column. William Shakespeare, 1564 to 1616, was a prolific writer during the Elizabethan and Jacobean age of British theatre, sometimes called the English Renaissance period. If you are going ahead to study English literature, you will study Victorian age, Renaissance period, like that and all. It is nothing but the age, the period where the poet lived, the period of the literature. that is where like one kind of a history is getting over and the other kind of generation is starting. Like that, they have given names for each generation. Got it? Shakespeare's plays are perhaps his most enduring legacy, but they are not the only thing he wrote. Shakespeare's poems remain popular to this day. Shakespeare's rich and diverse works have spawned countless adaptations across multiple genres and cultures. His writings have been compiled in various iterations of the complete works of William Shakespeare, which include all his plays, sonnets, and other poems. William Shakespeare continues to be one of the most important literary figures of English language. It is always remembered that Shakespeare is the person who had introduced lots of verses in the poem, lots of different monologues and dialogues into the stories, and he is the person who had discovered many new words. With the collaboration of other languages, he had introduced many new words in English literature. Got it? So he is a person who doesn't need any introduction or explanation about his works. He is a prolific writer. He is a person who had withstood in the English literature like anybody else. Yes? And now we'll go ahead with the poem. First, listen to the reading of the complete poem. Then read silently and get to know what Shakespeare says about different stages in the life of a man. You may refer to the glossary given at the end of the monologue to help you. Okay, at the end of the poem, there is a monologue to help you about the words usage of William Shakespeare. So we will read the poem completely and then we will go ahead to get the meaning of different stages of life of man told by William Shakespeare in this poem. Let's read the poem once and then I'll go ahead to explain you line by line. All the world's a stage, and all men and women merely players. They have their exits and entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. His acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then, the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like a furnace with the awful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths, and bearded like a pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good cap and lines, with eyes severe and the beard of formal cut, full of wise sauce and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into a lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on his side. His youthful horse, well saved, a world too wide, for his shrunk sank and his big manly voice, turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange eventful history is the second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Before I go ahead to explain, in page number 90, below about the author column, below the glossary, they have explained to you the lines. The certain phrases in the lines they had explained to you. Jealous in honor. The young man takes great care of his honor, his reputation as a good man. Always young people will be worried about their reputation. What will other people think about me? What is that image I am creating on others about myself? That is what will be the worry, a great care will be taken by a man who is an adult. Being in 12th standard, don't you do that? Yes? So, being an adult, so you will be taking utmost care about the image you create upon you on to others. Sudden and quick in quarrel. Quarrel is slightly old-fashioned word for an argument. So just because it is the word argument is replacing the word uh, quarrel here. Okay. Sudden here means unpredictable. So in an argument, this young man might suddenly become violent. Certain times it might have happened to you. When you are speaking with your friends, all of a sudden you'll be talking normally only, all of a sudden your friend might end up quarreling with you. You will not understand why is it. So that's the nature of being young people. Seeking bubble reputation. A bubble is empty, of course, right? A bubble is empty, it is filled with air. So by seeking bubble reputation, Shakespeare means a short-lived glory. Somebody is praising you. Somebody is praising you for your good character or good behavior. For you, being in 12th standard, being in this age, might be that glory of somebody praising you is a big thing for you. You will hold it for a long time in your heart. But as you grow up and older and older and older, you will not find it much interesting, because you will understand the meaning of praising later. Okay? Experiences will make you understand that it is a short-lived glory. It is just a bubble reputation. Even in the cannon's mouth, a cannon, large gun, and its mouth was in the front. So man seeks his reputation even if it means standing in front of guns. So being a man, being an adult, being in that young age, they will expect praise, glory. That word of praise will be giving them happiness even if they are standing in front of the gun. In gun point also, they will expect somebody to praise them, and they will feel happy for that, it seems, for that praise, not for standing in front of the gun, for that praising words from others. They will fall for it, literally. Cap and lined. To line means to fill something at the edges here. The man was fat from eating good chicken. Okay, cap and lined means the round tire in the belly that comes because of eating fat food. Lean and slippered pantaloon means this phrase describes a thin old man. Okay, pantaloon is nothing but the pant. Lean, very thin old man. Okay, slippered pantaloon, wearing a slipper, wearing a loose pant, and being very thin. You can imagine a thin old man like that too. Just to describe an old man, it is given. Shrunk, sank. To shrink means grow smaller, and sank means a piece of meat cut from the leg of an animal. So man's leg have grown narrower with age. When you are young, when you are energetic, your legs might be your father's or grandfather's legs that are very narrow and very lean nowadays, might have been muzzled, might have been strong, might have been equivalent to comparing to a hero of a movie. Yes, but nowadays, being a fact of an age, they are having a narrower leg, a thin leg, which was not the case when they were young. Yes, that is what is the meaning of shrunk, sank. Okay, treble. Treble is the higher part of the piece of music. So, Shakespeare is referring to a boy's high-pitched voice. High-pitched voice of a boy. Even men shout with high-pitched voice, but none of the men, a grown-up person about 40 to 50 years of age, You cannot compare the high pitched tone of that person to one young person. If you shout and your father shout, whose voice will be louder enough? Yours. Yes. So that high pitched sound of a boy is mentioned as treble. Oblivion. If someone is oblivious, he or she doesn't know what's happening around him or her. And if he or she lives in oblivion, he or she is completely forgotten by other people. Oblivion means your presence is being forgotten. That is what is the meaning. Okay. So now we'll go ahead to learn the meaning of the poem. I have already read the poem for you. We'll go ahead to learn the meaning of the poem. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. The world is the stage, the drama stage. And who are all the characters? The men and women who live in this world are the characters. They have their exits and their entrances. Everybody is born and everybody is dead. Their entrance is born, okay, and their exit is death. And one man in his time plays many parts. In that time of living in this world, a man is playing many parts in his life. Parts in the sense, many characters. As a father, as a boy, as a son, as a husband, as a student. Likewise for girls too. As a sister, as a mother, as a friend, as a wife. Yes, you have your own parts to play in your life. So every man who is born is having many parts to play when in the time of living. His acts being seven ages, his acts being seven ages. So Shakespeare had split according to the life stages. He had split a man's life to 7 stages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in nurse's arms. First stage is being an infant, a baby, a newborn baby. Mewling and puking. Mewling is nothing but making small sound, meager sound like cat. Meow meow sound like cat. Okay, mewling and puking in nurse's arms. Puking is nothing but vomiting. Children, when they go ahead to drink milk or take water, they used to spit some milk or water outside, just like that. Okay, so puking in nurse's arms. Nurses, people who are nursing the baby, mother, grandmother, might be the hospital nurse. Okay, people who are taking care of the baby. So mewling and puking in nurse's arms. Then the whining schoolboy, with his saddle and shining morning face, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. Okay, so the first stage is infant. The infant will be mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Second stage is the schoolboy, not just like that schoolboy, the whining schoolboy. Whining means crying, not literally crying out of the throat, but feeling like crying all the time. That is what is whining schoolboy, with the satchel, the bag on his shoulder, and shining morning face. The face will be shining only, but creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. The face will be shining. He will also be good only, but always there will be a cry face to go to school. Just because he is unwilling to go to school, what will happen? He will creep like a snail, it seems. So the second stage is the schoolboy. And then the lover, shining like furnace, with a awful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. The third stage is being a lover boy. Yes. This lover boy, what will he do, He'll be like a furnace, like any time he may explode, kind of a shrewdness will be there. With a awful ballad, okay? Awful ballad is nothing but always he will have a story running around him. and mostly his story will be made from his mistress' eyebrows. The girl he loves, the girl he is in love with. He will always find a story from the eyebrows of the mistress, it seems. Just like that, by seeing the eyebrows of his girl, he can understand what the girl is about to tell. He can understand what will be his future. He can understand what will be the next step, next procedure, or the next thing happening of his life. So always he is having a promising story, awful ballad in his life, that too from his mistress' eyebrows. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths. Soldier means they will have certain policies, oath, the promises to carry on with. Yes. So such a soldier, the next stage is the soldier stage. First stage is an infant. The second stage is a schoolboy. Third stage is being a lover boy. Fourth stage is the soldier. And bearded like a pard. Then a soldier full of strange oaths and bearded like a pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking a bubble reputation. As a soldier, this boy will have lot of strange promises to carry on. Okay? And this soldier will have beard like a pard, like a leopard, like a tiger. He will have a beard, that young beard we will say, right? Dadi. Jealous in honor. Okay, always he will be expecting others to have high impression on him. Sudden and quick in quarrel. Okay, unpredictable behavior. Immediately, just like that, they will jump into a quarrel, an argument. Seeking bubble reputation, even in cannon's mouth. Being a soldier, even if he is standing in front of a gun, he will expect that praising words from the opponent. Got it? So that will be the stage of a soldier. And then the justice in fair round belly with good cap and lined. Okay, and then the justice. He is now becoming he is now coming to the fifth stage. He is becoming a justice, means a person who will follow all the judicial things, who will be loyal and truthful to his life. In this stage, he is having a round belly, cap and lined. The belly is having a round belt which is created just because of eating fat food. With his eyes severe and beard of formal cut. Okay, his eyes will be severe. His eyes will be always noticing something, always thinking on what is right and what is wrong. Is this person doing it right or wrong? Like that, that stage will come. And also, the beard will have a formal cut, not like a tiger's beard, not like a leopard's beard here and there. It will be a formal cut, trim and fit. Formal cut, like a person who will be looking good once you look at them. Okay, full of wise sauce and modern instances, full of wise sauce. Always his words will be saying all good things. Okay, all advices and modern instances. Modernity will be there in the thought, and the mouth will have all the advices. And so he plays his part. Okay, and thus he plays his part as being a justice. The sixth age shifts into a lean and slippered pantaloon. Okay, so the sixth age is that he shifts into a lean and slippered pantaloon. He is just becoming lean, and he is starting to wear the pantaloon. He is lean and he is wearing the loose pants. Okay, but spectacles on nose and pouch on one side. Always there is a spectacle that is standing on his nose, and he is having a pouch. Means what? The purse or whatever is his belongings, he is carrying it in a pouch. That is the sixth stage of his life. His youthful horse well saved a world too wide. Okay, so his youthful horse means the pant that were being worn by the young people in Shakespearean time. Okay, so for this that had become too much for this world, it seems. He had started to wear the loose pants, for his shrunk sank and his manly voice. Okay, so what happened? His shrunk sank legs are there, right? The thin legs, which were muscular when he was younger, and now it has become very thin. And this pant, the youthful pant, what he used to wear when he was young, is no longer fitting for him now. Okay, it has become too much for him, and he had started wearing slippers and pantaloons. His big manly voice turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Okay, so his manly voice, once his voice was very manly. If he speaks, everybody could listen, could hear. Such a voice has turned into a childish treble again. Again, like a child who will be speaking feebly, like that, the voice has become. Pipes and whistles in his sound. When he is speaking, not all the words are properly pronounced. There are sounds of air, the pipe sound. Okay, like when you are speaking, no, every word when you are speaking, if when you are giving that clear vibration, then your words will be very clear. If you are not clearly spelling out or clearly pronouncing the word, there will be that air filling up the word. Like that, there are pipes and whistles in a sound, it seems. Last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is the second childishness, a mere oblivion. Okay, so the last stage is nothing but the second childishness. Again, this old people are becoming the second child. They are becoming second children. Okay, they are again becoming, going back to their first stage of an infant. Okay, they are becoming oblivion. Their presence is not going to be noticed by many people after this. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, and sans everything. Sans is nothing but going away. Okay, their teeth is gone, their eyes are gone, their tasting sense is gone, and everything is gone out of their life. Okay, that is how they become a second child. Okay, we'll go ahead to revise the stages now. Okay, the first stage is the infant stage, where the child will be mewling and puking in nurse's arm. The second stage is the school boy. Unwillingly, the boy will be creeping like a snail to the school. Third stage will be the lover boy, who will make stories out of his mistress eyebrows. Fourth stage will be the soldier, okay, who is jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking bubble reputation in the cannon's mouth. Fifth stage will be the justice, who is having a round belly with cap and lined. Okay, and the sixth stage will be the age shift. Okay, from being a young person to a lean person. Okay, and the next seventh stage is nothing but the second childishness, again becoming a second child. Okay, losing the voice, and everything is gone off from them. Teeth, eyes, taste, and everything is being gone off from them. That is the stage of the last stage of the man's life. Okay, sans, it is given here, you can see, without. Sans teeth, sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. That is what is given over there. Okay, so thus Shakespeare is explaining the 7 stages of a man's life with the in the poem All the World's a Stage, from an extract from the story As You Like It. Okay, so as you had enjoyed the poem, go ahead to read the poem once, read it again once within you, and you can understand the meaning of each and every line. You can go ahead to mark the meaning of each and every line in your book, okay, using a pencil, and go ahead to answer the questions that are given after this poem, so that you will understand the poem better. I will send you Unit 3 notes as early as possible. I will upload it in the website. So using the password, you can open this Unit 3 notes, PDF notes. Using the password, you can open the Unit 3 PDF notes and you can go ahead to write it in your classwork. Thank you, children. Meet you again.